Hello everyone, welcome back to the course on Energy Management and Audit. I am Triveli Naidu from the Department of Electrical Engineering at St. Vincent Pallotti College of Engineering and Technology, Nagpur. In the previous video, we have seen all the global environmental concerns. We have discussed on greenhouse effect, the global warming phenomena, the CO2 emissions, acid rains, pollution, and so many other examples. If you have not watched the previous video, go and visit the description box wherein you'll find the link. This subject is in line with the syllabus given by bwe.gov.in for the exam of Energy Auditor and Energy Manager. In this video, we shall see what is CO2 emission, what is carbon trading and carbon footprints. So let's get started. We have discussed in the previous video regarding the carbon emissions. Let us quickly revise it. Global carbon emission from fossil fuels. The statistics is from the year 1900 to 2014, wherein you find the graph only rising. The source for this is Borden T.A., Marlin G. and Andrus R.J., the data of 2017 from Global, Regional and National Fossil Fuel CO2 Emission, Carbon Dioxide Information Analysis Center. Okay, and according to this, we find global carbon emission from fossil fuels have significantly increased since 1900. And since the year 1970, CO2 emission have increased by about 90%, with emission from fossil fuel, combustion and industrial processes contributing about 78% of total greenhouse gas emission, and it has increased drastically from the year 1970 to 2011. Now, why do we so much emphasize on carbon dioxide as the greenhouse gas? You would say, ma'am, we have rest of the gases. Greenhouse gases is the unity of different gases. Yes, true, but carbon dioxide is taking 84% part of greenhouse gases. Okay, so out of these total greenhouse gases, CO2 is comprising of 84%. Whereas methane is 9%, nitrous oxide is 5%, and fluorinated gases are only 2%. So 84% means what? It's a significant amount. That means it's the major contributor in the greenhouse effect. And consequently, it is the major contributor in the global warming phenomena. So we have to do something about this. Now, what to do with this carbon? If there is excess of carbon, how shall we tackle it? So let's see. There is a concept known as carbon trading. Okay, let us take examples to understand this. We have two industries. Say for example, we are having industry name A. We are having another industry named B. Okay, both are polluting the environment. Both are liberating carbon dioxide. Okay, but there has to be a certain permissible value to what extent this carbon dioxide can be liberated. So let's say this is the margin. Okay, this is permissible emission margin of carbon dioxide. Now you can see industry A is beyond this margin, whereas industry B is within the range of this margin. It could have used this margin, but this is having less CO2 emission and this industry is having more CO2 emission. So the margin for industry A is increased. Permit needed for carbon emission. It was not allowed to liberate such a lot of carbon, but that company cannot help out now. It has liberated carbon dioxide. Okay, now permit is needed for the liberation for emission of this carbon dioxide. Okay, whereas let us see about industry B, what is happening. There is unused permit for carbon emission. Okay, so now Industry B can do something about this. Industry B will say, okay, now I'm not polluting the environment, I don't need this much of permit, I can sell it off. But whereas Industry A would say that, oh my god, now I've crossed the permissible emission margin, I should do something about it. Let me purchase permit. Okay, let me purchase permission for the carbon emission. So this Industry A will approach Industry B in order to get the permit, because this industry has not used its permit. So now this industry can sell its permit off to Industry A. And that's how the carbon trading is done. Okay, so Industry A will now buy the permit from Industry B, and Industry B will sell it permit to Industry A. So this is known as carbon trading. Okay, it is a deal. It is a deal of issuing the permit, purchasing the permit, and selling it off. Okay, that is how the carbon trading is done. So no industry wants to waste money in order to purchase permit for such a nuisance like carbon dioxide emission. Obviously, if a country is having more and more carbon dioxide emission, that means its economy will go into this only then. Okay, so there will be lot of wastage of money also. Nobody would like to purchase additional permit for this carbon dioxide emission. So now the countries, the different industries have started doing this. Okay. So what is carbon trading basically? Carbon trading is a scheme where firms or countries buy and sell carbon permits as a part of a program to reduce carbon emissions. Usually firms are given a certain quota to pollute a certain amount. If they wish to pollute more, then their allowance, they have to buy more permits. So this is what is carbon trading. Then we need to understand one more important concept of carbon, that is carbon footprint. We always wish to reduce this carbon footprint. Now, how do we reduce this carbon footprint? First of all, what is carbon footprint? Carbon footprint is nothing but what? A carbon footprint is the total greenhouse gas emission caused by an individual, event, organization, service, or product. It is expressed as carbon dioxide equivalent. That is, what extent of carbon dioxide emission is taking place. That is carbon footprint. And we always need to reduce this carbon footprint. So how can we help Mother Nature to reduce the carbon dioxide footprint? Okay, so it can be reduced in a day-to-day basis, on the basis of how do we adjust in the environment. We have to deal with water, okay, use plenty of water, okay, and be a part of the cycle. We should stop emission of dangerous gases like CFCs into the atmosphere. We should stop the emission of carbon dioxide via the transportation systems. Okay, so we have to control emissions. We should design engines as far as efficiency is concerned so that we reduce the carbon dioxide emissions. Okay, and we should reduce the usage of fossil fuels, coal, etc. in terms of electricity production, because it is causing pollution. Using of coal in thermal power plant is causing pollution. We should not waste electricity. We should utilize electricity very wisely, just as water. Water conservation and electricity conservation both are very important as far as reducing carbon footprint is concerned. Then transportation system. Okay, there has to be efficient transportation system. Okay, then usage of these gases, we have to wisely use them. We should rather go for alternative techniques like going for biofuels. Then the fuel should be adjusted. Okay, we should not use a lot of fuel, we should not use a lot of crude oil. Okay, usage of petrol, kerosene, etc. Now see, recently the government has almost banned kerosene. The vehicles that have been using fuel as kerosene, they'll be using kerosene, they would be fined. Okay, so this is all measures have been taken by the government. Then personal hygiene, personal, adjustments. It is said that the non-veg industry, especially the red meat industries, are are emitting a lot of carbon dioxide. The research says this. Yeah, nobody's telling you to go and become vegetarians, but at least we can reduce it. If you want to reduce carbon footprints, it is a part of research. It's not my own intention to tell you all this. Then recycle. We have to not only recycle, we have to reduce the use, we have to reuse everything, we have to recycle everything, and we also should refuse when it comes to emission of carbon dioxide, when it comes to the product of carbon dioxide, when we know that it is going to harm the environment very drastically. Okay, then the waste should be managed properly. Okay, the biomedical waste, so many wastes are generated in day to day life, so all these things have to be managed properly if you want to deal properly with carbon footprints. Then only we'll be able to reduce the carbon footprint. Okay, now there has to be certain agency which looks after this carbon dioxide emission. So you have a Kyoto Protocol. The Kyoto Protocol is an international treaty which extends the 1992 United Nations Framework Convention on Climatic Change, more commonly known as UNFCCC, that commits state parties to reduce greenhouse gas emissions based on scientific consensus that part 1, global warming is occurring, and secondly, it is extremely likely that human made CO2 emissions have predominantly caused it. Okay, that means we are ourselves the reason of the CO2 emission. The Kyoto Protocol was adopted in Kyoto, Japan on 11th December 97, and it entered into force on 16th February 2005. So this defines legally binding targets and timetables for cutting the greenhouse gas emissions of industrialized countries that ratified the Kyoto Protocol. So for this, you need to have certain emission certificates. Okay, so these are the agency that provide you, okay, in the market: certified emission reduction unit, then verified emission reduction. So these are all a must because they keep an eye on the carbon dioxide emission. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much. Continue to smile and learn. In the next video, we shall see the rest of the topics that was introduced in unit number 1.